January 25th, 2022. Halfcast 227, episode 227. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Man arrested for murder after returning to crime scene during investigation. And just like that, he just made somebody's career. Darian DeAndre Walker, 18 of Detroit, faces charges of felony murder, armed robbery, and 2 counts of felony firearm for his alleged role in the shooting death of Desmond Dixon, 33 of Detroit. That's like 22 D's for you. He was arraigned by Judge Michelle Friedman Appel of the 45th District Court in Oak Park. Walker was denied bond. Please don't let that man on the streets. No telling how many more crime scenes he might just happen upon. A press release provided to Newsweek by the Oak Park Department of Public Safety, Lieutenant Troy Taylor of the department's Investigations Bureau said that approximately 11:15 p.m. on Thursday, January 20th, officers were dispatched to the 15,000 block of Northgate Boulevard in the Loop Apartments. Upon arrival, officers discovered a vehicle that had crashed into the apartment building. WDIV reported that the front window of an apartment unit was broken in the crash. A male victim with a gunshot wound was reportedly located in the driver's seat. The victim, later identified as Dixon, was pronounced dead at the scene. Dixon had originally been shot in the 25,000 block of Lincoln Terrace and attempted to flee. Police said that was when his vehicle struck the aforementioned apartment complex. Investigators at the scene were able to obtain information about the suspect in the shooting, Taylor said, while authorities and other personnel were still at the scene approximately 3.5 hours after the shooting occurred. Walker and 2 others reportedly came back to the scene. All 3 individuals were questioned by investigators. It's been 3 hours. They've probably forgotten all about the shooting by now. That was when Walker was arrested. The other 2 were released pending further investigation. I think they already knew they had their man. They just took the other 2 kids in to make it look like they were doing solid detective work. Police alleged that Walker and the 2 others were conducting some sort of transaction with Dixon. The Daily Tribune reported that the transaction involved marijuana. During the course of the incident, it is alleged that Walker pulled out a weapon with the intent to rob the victim and fired it at Dixon, striking him, Taylor said. I mean, this just happened. You didn't even give the police a chance to clear the crime scene before you just go marching through there again. The balls. K9 sniffs out $3 million worth of fentanyl during traffic stop. And that dog will later become one of the most feared kingpins in the Western Hemisphere. Officers with the California Highway Patrol, CHIPS, reported the largest fentanyl bust in the history of Central Valley, and part of that discovery was thanks to the work of Benny, a K9 Belgian Malinois. According to a Facebook post published by the agency, the driver was pulled over for speeding. If you are transporting a shit ton of drugs, 10 and 2, a couple miles over the speed limit, don't look suspicious. And if you're making that much money, you can pay someone that has a valid driver's license, registration, and insurance to drive for you if you can't drive yourself. Come on, people. Making it easy. Please don't sell drugs. While speaking with the driver and the passenger, the officer noticed several factors in tradecraft that led him to believe the 2 were engaged in criminal activity. Eric Zuniga, the public information officer for the California Highway Patrol's Mercer area, CHIPS, told Newsweek that when the driver and the passenger answered some questions, things were not adding up, which led to the K9 search. CHP K9 Benny was asked to sniff the exterior of the Volkswagen and alerted to the odor of narcotics, the Facebook post read. A subsequent search of the vehicle revealed approximately 75 pounds of counterfeit oxycodone pills believed to contain fentanyl. According to the American Kennel Club, AKC, dogs have 225 million scent receptors in their noses. They can be trained to detect drugs, explosives, and accelerants. With all those scent receptors, you're not afraid Benny might catch a little buzz and become the wrong type of crime dog? According to the agency's Facebook post, the two, both Washington state residents, were arrested for possession of narcotics for sale. I would like to hope so. I would hate to believe they were going to do all those drugs. That was just a party or something. The street value of these pills is approximately $3 million, the Facebook post stated. This is the largest fentanyl bust in Valley history, used as pain relief. The Highway Patrol Agency noted that drug trafficking organizations distribute fentanyl by the kilogram. Just 1 kilogram equates to about 2.2 pounds. Because we're Americans, we don't do metric, which has the potential to kill 500,000 people per the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. One of the largest drug busts in the area's history was just another day's work for Benny. It's all kibble and kudos until you catch him in the evidence locker switching around packages. Oh, because we're not done with the drugs. Brownsville man charged after attempting to rob car to buy crack, threatening officers. There's a lot in there. There's a whole lot in there. David Perez, 44, was taken into custody on January 23rd, 2022 at approximately 7:40 a.m. on the 1900 block of Old Port Isabel in Brownsville. A call was made to the Brownsville Police Department emergency communications by a man who said that Perez had threatened to stab him as he got out of his car. Perez demanded the keys to the car and money, but the victim managed to escape and run into a nearby business. You failed as a crack addict, sir. Perez was located at the Stripes on Coffee Road and Old Port Isabel, where employees also let the officers know that the alcoholic beverages Perez were drinking were stolen. He's just desperate to keep the party going. 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. On the way to the city jail, Perez made numerous threats to the officers. Among them, he threatened that the Mexican cartel would kidnap the officers' families. Oh, well, in that case, Mr. Perez, can we drop you off anywhere? Where should we let you out at? While in jail, Perez admitted that he was trying to steal the vehicle and only wanted $20 to buy crack. What made me laugh is that the guy probably would have gave him $20 just for being around in 2022 and still smoking crack. Perez was charged with a first degree aggravated robbery felony, a state felony for terroristic threats to a peace officer, and theft, a $12,500 bond in addition to time served. Come on, if he was a real cartel guy, he wouldn't need money and he definitely wouldn't need crack. He wouldn't need either or because he'd have plenty of both. We would like to think. The Tri Cities Herald in Washington state reports that 23 people have been charged with faking a series of car crashes, resulting in faked injuries in order to collect insurance payouts of nearly $1 million. $1 million divided by 23 people is $43,478.26. According to an 81-page 138 count federal indictment by the U.S. Attorney's Office for Eastern Washington. It was a scheme that involved no fewer than 14 faked car crashes. I need a bacchiotomy. How does one fake 14 car crashes? In ways both clever and not so. First, the crashes were spaced out over a 3-year period, and they often happened on remote roads at night to ensure there were no witnesses. Prosecutors said that no one was aboard the victim vehicle in at least three of the crashes, though someone was driving the at fault vehicle, which leads us back to the idea that life would be easier behind the desk, counter, or anything legit. Prosecutors say that in at least two crashes, perpetrators used hammers to smash car windows, and at least one, a car seat was weighted down so the airbag would deploy. The indictment says that after a crash, the accused sought emergency room and medical treatment for fictitious, fabricated, and exaggerated accident symptoms and injuries and hired personal injury attorneys to pursue their insurance claims. Prosecutors say one woman who was the living girlfriend of a key conspirator worked as a case manager at a Tri Cities personal injury law firm and personally handled communications with insurance companies regarding the claims. The not so clever parts of the alleged scheme, some of the cars involved were crashed the very next day after they had been purchased and insured. And in one case, prosecutors say a woman accused in the scheme crashed into a vehicle driven by her own brother. You're dragging everybody into this. These are details that would surely make an insurance company sit up and take notice. One crash involved six people claiming injuries, which resulted in payouts of nearly $390,000. Another crash brought in 81,000. The 23 people charged include four married couples, three sets of siblings, and a father and a son, and a partridge in a pear tree. They're from the Tri Cities and from California, Michigan, Nevada, and British Columbia. Four of those charged have not been located and are considered fugitives. One of the defendants faced 64 felony charges. Charges for the 23 people span quite a range: mail fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud, tampering with the witness, attempted tampering with evidence, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, and making false statements within jurisdiction of executive branch. Jesus Christ. Make me want to take that neck brace off and throw it at the judge. I was playing. I was just playing. One defendant was not charged in the crashes. Instead, prosecutors say he's among those who are facing charges over what came after. Attempts to thwart the investigation, the feds say, included threats of physical violence. I'm in a cartel, lying to the FBI and making a false claim that an FBI agent had solicited a $22,000 bribe to make the case go away. In all, prosecutors say the scheme from start to finish netted 962,300. It's just not enough, which brings us back to our original crime doesn't pay premise. Or at least it doesn't pay well. If 23 people had earned a total of $962,300 working legit jobs over 3 years, each person's salary would have been just under 14,000 per year. The scheme being alleged here paid less than working at McDonald's. Fun show, fun show, fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios. Fun show.